Okay, and what we want to do in this video is finish off our look at an exceptionally important factor of production, which is capital. Now, this is the second video of capital, and it is the second to last video of our studies of factors of production in this unit here. Okay, so don't forget the factors of production are those things that are used to produce goods and services. And when we're talking about capital, we're talking about physical and human capital, right? Now, one term that you can hear when it comes to capital is this idea of capital formation. So the name given to capital formation, which is building more commercial buildings, making more machines, etc. Basically making more capital. The name that is given to making more capital is called investment. And like most things in economics, we have to learn off this definition word perfect. So investment is the addition of capital stock to the economy or expenditure by firms on capital. Okay, so capital is anything that certainly does make labor more efficient, but also what it is the physical and the human improvements in terms of something that is man-made, okay? So these are these ideas of capital, and we've already talked about the importance of advanced capital structures in an economy in order to increase production, which will allow us to consume more and as such have a higher standard of living. Now, one thing I did say was it doesn't always have to be something physical, and we've made that point over and over again. So a computer program is a form of capital. It's something that is man-made, made by a human being, that it can be used in the production of goods and services. And also and I hope you do get the opportunity to attend university as I did and very much enjoyed my time there. Excuse me. What you see here is that all of these people are investing in themselves, in their human capital. They are increasing their human capability to think. And as such, that is an investment from society's point of view. Now, there are two different types of investment, what we're looking at. And don't forget, investment is a creation of capital. Okay, physical and something that's man-made, either physical or human, right? There's gross investment, and then there's this idea of net investment, and the difference between them is called depreciation. So again, we have a couple of definitions coming. What is gross investment? Gross investment is the total amount of potentially even new capital, if you want, that's created in an economy in a year. So investment is the capital formation or creating more of the factor of production capital. A really, really important thing in any modern economy. Now, so if we're saying, okay, how much extra capital did we create this year? That's what gross investment is. Now then you could be forgiven for saying, well, we just add that to the capital that we already have, and that's the total amount of capital that exists in the economy. But that's not true, because every year going through the production process, each of these machines that we have seen, at least physical capital, each of these machines that we have seen will be slightly damaged and slightly worn out. And over a number of years, what you'll find is those machines will need to be replaced. So some of this gross investment, right, will be eaten up by old machines breaking down. So we don't get to add all of the capital we create every year to an existing and constantly expanding capital stock. Some of the capital is used up, and we call this depreciation. Now, this is not to be way later, most likely at this kind of at the start of DP2, we talk about the depreciation of a currency. This is not to be confused with that. This is essentially the amount of capital which is used up or worn out in a given year. That's what we're talking about, depreciation when it comes to capital. So gross investment is the total amount of new capital that's made in a year, let's say, and depreciation is the amount of old capital which is broken down or used up. And the difference between the two is the net amount of capital, is the net addition. And I'm using that term liberally, the net addition to the capital stock. How much the capital stock either essentially increases or decreases. And I think the best way to do this is to look at this equation that I'm about to present and then look at a few pictorial examples. So net investment is the amount of extra capital that is created in an economy in a given year. And what net investment is gross investment minus depreciation. Now, this is the example. So let's say this is the capital stock. A shovel, I think you would agree, certainly is capital. And the gross investment, the amount of new capital that was made this year, was 3 shovels. So you would be forgiven for saying that the capital stock is now 8. Okay, this 5, and then we created 3 more this year. However, we are not taking into account depreciation. So let's just, for the sake of argument, assume that 2 of the old shovels, 2 of the old capital broke down. Now, obviously, this is measured in terms of dollars, euros, yen, whatever. But, just for our sake of understanding, and I think it's very important you always try and develop what's called a real economic view of the world in terms of goods and services, in terms of machines, in terms of factors of production, not in terms of money until we get on to later units. So of this 3 shovels that were represented the gross investment, one of them had to go to replace one of the old broken shovels. The other one had to go to replace another of the old broken shovels. Depreciation, we had depreciation of 2. So our net investment, which was the gross minus depreciation, so the 3 minus 2, our net investment, our net addition to capital stock is only 1 shovel. All right, so that's great now. Like our capital has increased, our factors of production has increased, our productive capacity has increased, our ability to produce goods and services that you and I enjoy have increased. And with that, hopefully extra production, assuming that all of them are used and there's no unemployment in terms of capital, then our consumption will increase and as such our standard of living. So what we're going to say now is the gross investment. Again, we're starting off here. We're starting off here with a capital stock of 5 shovels, and that's the only capital that exists in the economy, and we had a gross investment of 2 shovels. So but the question is, are we more capable of producing now with this increase in capital? And on net, I hope you understand that we're not, because in the past year, depreciation, 3 of those shovels were broken. So this first bit of gross investment replaces the first shovel that was broken. The second bit of gross investment replaces the second shovel that was a victim of depreciation. And now we have this one here, which is completely gone. So our net investment in capital is actually negative. Okay, it's -1 in this scenario. And then the final scenario here is we start off with a capital stock at the start of the year of 5, we have gross investment of 3, and now we find that we have depreciation of 3 as well. So what is the net increase in our factors of production? Capital only, of course, and we see it's 0. Now, that gross investment wasn't a waste, because if we didn't do that, that means that our capital stock would have fallen, our factors of production would have been reduced, and as such our ability to produce and consume would have been reduced. But still, it's very important to understand that every bit of gross investment can be removed by some amount at least of depreciation. Now, the reward to capital, the reward to the owners of capital, speaking economically, is known as interest. Okay, so any money that is received by the owners of capital is called interest. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.